Look at me. I want you to fire me. You fucking Mark. Fire me. Look at me. I want you to fire me.
Rise to the top. Oh, yeah. Macho Madness, yeah, it's got me.
Makes me so angry. What am I saying?
Well, hello, fans. Welcome to A Moment with Joshua Joseph. Have you missed me? Well, I'm back in the neighborhood and ready to rip shit up. So I hope you are ready to join me because I have a special treat for you guys out there in the world of streaming. I have one of the coolest dudes I've ever come across in this world of streaming. I joined his channel, became a part of his group. I love being there every time he goes live, and we'll get to that in a moment. Got to take care of some of the due diligence of getting all the information out. So it is I, the voice, Joshua Joseph. You can catch me live on Mondays on my Raw preview review show with Bubba Duke, OMD, and the Bulkster himself, the chicken parm champ that we all love and well, we frankly kind of get annoyed with. You all know that. You've been there. You've seen it. You've seen the Bulkster annoy the bejesus out of everybody with his takes, but we love the dude because, well, he's family. He's a window licker. You can also catch In Your House out there doing their solo shots with Hollywood House, the smoke session with Hypocrisy Jones. And if you're following Hypocrisy, you know he did a name change today. So get out there and check out what he is going by today. And you got the Paragon himself, the world's most dangerous animal out there doing everything an Emerge champion should do. And the ringleader, the man who brought us all together and said, hey, boys, I got some work for you, so get busy. He is Hollywood House, putting down everything. He does music. He does streaming. He does commentary. He does managing. He does everything. There's so many things that our dear friend Hollywood House does that I don't have the time to name it because we are at A Moment with Joshua Joseph. And you can also catch my friends on the Boar's Nest out there Thursday nights doing their gaming. I think they are gaming the Quarry this week. So go check that out, see what they're about, and let's get A Moment started. So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard me talk about it. Friends of the Window Lickers, you know I've been in the man's chat, usually on a Friday night, usually on a Monday night, after I get done with preview review Raw. And then usually when he ever pops up, it's a Wednesday, sometimes Tuesday, sometimes you never know. But we got the man himself, my friend, absolute treasure of the internet world on the Twitch streams. It is the LEW. What's up, buddy?
Let me hit it one time. What's up, buddies?
There we go. We got the LEW himself joining us. And LEW, it would be so horrible if my fans didn't let you hear this, because this actually came from your neck of the woods.
Let me talk to you, Bulkamaniacs.
We got him. We got the Bulkster here in spirit. We know you love him, LEW. He's been one of your funniest fuckers out in your chats.
Oh man, Bulkster, he brings the comedy. And even when we were doing the wrestling show, Bulkster was the hit with the Chicken Parm Championship. He was that dude. It was a fun time. He is
that dude. But we are here with you, LEW. First off, thank you for joining us here on A Moment with Joshua Joseph. I see you rocking the Bray shirt. We gotta love that. this is part of the Window Lickers collection. It is a show I used to do. I've interviewed tons of wrestlers, a few comedians. Now I'm starting to open it up to way more people, way more individuals to get a chance to come in and speak about yourself. So before we dive completely into it, Lou, is there any chance you can give us a quick rundown where people can find you, and what the Lou's channel is all about?
Well, I mean, the strongest point of my streaming platform is Twitch. You'll find me on twitch.tv/the Lou underscore, all caps, all together, like it is on the screen. I've been trying to work on getting back into swing of things. I took a 2-month break recently, but I think we're doing pretty good. We're getting in a good motion. I feel like the new schedule is going to be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Mondays are going to be a little event with the stream, the channel, the chat, where they can come join me on a game, and they name the game, and we have some games together on Monday night. Wednesday's kind of up in the air. It's gonna we were trying to do a retro night, wasn't really working out, but we might do just some like random stuff. Tomorrow night we're gonna jump into NHL 24 because it's on the Game Pass, and I used to play the shit out of NHL 20, all the NHLs. So 24 is on there. So I'm excited about diving back into that. So we're going to be doing that tomorrow night. And then Friday, we just like to hang out, celebrate the week. Week is over. The weekend is here. We got that out of the way, and just hang out with a few friends. We've been doing a lot of Call of Duty, Rocket League, just hanging out, having a good time. Never know what it'll bring, but just a night that we can all get together, enjoy the weekend start.
Yeah. Well, before we get into the first question, I have to fanboy out on you for a second, because you've literally brought a community to my doorstep that is very welcoming and very helpful in a lot of the stuff that I bring to the table. So like if I bring up a message about, hey, I'm looking to do this, I know it's going to go through Lou first, Viking, and then that DJ Colby might see it, and then from there you're going to see who kind of waters that plant. So I just would like to say, Lou, from me, from everybody I know that I've brought along to your stream, we appreciate the hell out of you, man.
Well,
and we are so damn happy you are back.
I appreciate that. It's funny because, me and you, we always reminisce about like the time that, I think me and Viking were doing a stream. You came in randomly, was checking us out. I think we were playing AEW or something like that. And just like ever since that moment you came into chat, we just all like hit it off. Like we've known each other for years. Like we went to school together or some shit. And just it's always amazing to meet those types of people that are so chill and so cool, that are inviting into each other's friendships, into each other's groups, and you just hit it off. And it's so awesome that we got to meet you and that you've been a part of this. So I want to thank you, not just for being an amazing person and hanging out with us, day in and day out, but being a part of the Discord, being a part of conversations, whether it's wrestling, whether it's gaming, anything. And I want to thank you for that. And I want to thank you, especially, you're starting this back up. You're trying to get this, your show back in the roll. And I appreciate you, putting me on here first to try to start lifting you that direction. So I appreciate that.
Oh man, you're being so sweet. Enough with this lovey gooey bull crap.
Bullshit.
Let's get into the enough of this bullshit.
Get it out of here.
It's past 8:30. We can be adults and use words. So Lou, where did this all start? Where did the idea of you wanting to reach out and stream to an audience that, well, let's just be honest, that can be a little ridiculing, can be a little tasking.
They love to beat me down.
Where did that love come from? Like where did you want to come in at that?
Well, I think for me, like growing up, being a 90s kid, it really started for me just the love of gaming. One of the very first consoles I ever owned was the original Nintendo Entertainment System, and loved it, enjoyed it, played everything on it, and I just kept growing, from there, the love of like Super Nintendo to the N64 to the Sonys back in the heyday, it just kind of grew, and it wasn't always about the games themselves. It was more so about, you know, what was going on with the people I grew around, like friendship wise, in the games, like, hanging out with the neighborhood, doing some Madden tournaments, or like, playing something, like the shooters together. It was always something that revolved around people. And I always loved, meeting a good group, hanging out with people, going to GameStop events and just having a good time, hanging out. And I think that was just like the big, love for me for gaming that led into, as an adult, you love to hang around people, you love to make them laugh. And it's like, man, I would love to, do this as an entertainment, because, touching back on childhood, my dad was a DJ.
Oh,
And he's not a famous DJ, but he was a DJ. He loved to sing. He did Elvis impersonations where he'd have the outfits and all the things that came along with like the
so
hair.
awesome.
My dad was a huge Elvis fan, and he would go to nursing homes, and that was his job, and he would entertain the people at nursing homes, and
Okay.
sing the classic songs of, 60s, 70s, 80s, Elvis, Michael Jackson, the whole nine. He was just a very entertaining guy. And, I'd go to a lot of his shows to help him set up. And it was like, so I guess like my love for entertaining people, whether they love me or they like to rip on me, came from, just my childhood, and
That's
taking
awesome.
two worlds of gaming and, my father's side of entertainment, and just putting it into something I loved. And, we found our
That's really
way
cool.
to Twitch in 2021 is when I started streaming. So,
That's awesome.
yeah.
We have a couple fans jumping in here. We got Don Lewis, also known as Bubba Duke, co-host. He cannot wait to check out your show. And I think this lady. This is Luna. She is out there.
Luna,
Hey,
what's
oh,
going
it's these
on?
guys. It is Luna. We got Stevie Streams jumping in.
Stevie Streams, that's a dude right there. Shout out to
Yeah.
Stevie Streams.
Dr. Kill, he's out there.
Stevie
And
Streams and his community gifted me this neon
oh yeah,
sign
that's true. Yeah.
this past weekend, and this sign it's incredible. The logo, like the size, like it's phenomenal. So huge shout out to Stevie Streams and his community for gifting me with that.
Hey,
It
Stevie,
was a very nice gift.
that sign is titties on a Tuesday, man. That
It's
is
awesome.
really an amazing sign. And that again kind of goes back to what we talked about with your community. And I guess here's my question, coming off of where you started and everything. For the young streamer who wants to start something, what would you say are some of the downfalls that you experienced early on in your career? And maybe if it was a downfall that you found a way to overcome, just could you give anybody a quick tip out there? Maybe they're out there struggling a little bit with streaming and how to keep at it.
I mean, I would certainly say, you gotta have fun. You gotta put something on the plate that you enjoy doing. That's first and foremost. If you're not having fun with it, and if you're not enjoying it, all the other things that come along with streaming, they're not gonna happen. If you think you're gonna hit live and you're gonna have 1,000 people in there right off the rip, that doesn't exist, right? There's a whole different kind of grind to it, to the streaming platforms, as far as growing. And I would say the very key thing is be yourself. Bring yourself, and bring something that you love and enjoy. I think I'm proof that you don't have to be great at what you're doing gaming wise. You don't have to be great at it, because I get my butt kicked a lot, but I think it's the factors I've built around it that have made my stream entertaining. And I think that's what people love to come back to and enjoy, being inside the chat for.
Yeah.
So of course, it's have fun, be yourself, start slow. You don't have to be the greatest thing on the planet. You don't have to have the strongest PC, but you got to know what you're working with and just set it up to what fits you.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
That's some good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that. And you can see that you definitely you're practicing what you preach, because I mean, I see it out there. I see you, and I'm going to bring this up with the fans who may not know it, but if you go on to LEW's streams, he has a lot of things that you're allowed to interact with him with. They could be drops, they could be little sayings, they could be all these little things, but there's also beans and sprays and hot sauces. Where did you decide that I want to punish myself with allowing these animals that join my show? Because we'll see it. You're in the middle of a flow, you're talking, and then all of a sudden, oh, I don't know, a Stevie Streams goes, hey, he needs a bean. Boom. And then what's his name from Transformers pops up and he's like, hey, do it.
Shia LaBeouf. Yeah.
Yeah, Shiloh.
Just do it.
So then Lou literally has to pick up a container. He shakes it. He looks at you. He pulls one out, and then you have to see the torture that is now for the next 2 to 3 minutes.
Yes, I mean, I think watching other streamers. That's a good tip that I'll give too. Build yourself. To know other people and get to meet other people, friend them. I've seen a lot of people, and I think for me, it's like, the funny stuff and the funny quick hits is what can be a very entertaining piece to streaming, because it's the things that catch people's eyes. Like, you could be doing something like you were describing, and then all of a sudden, like you said, Shiloh's popping up or Shaq's in the corner or something just happens out of nowhere. And it's like what the fuck was that? Where'd that come from? It's like, and it's like, oh, you got the sprays, the beans, the hot sauces. And it's like, there's always a reason to do it. For me, it's more so like, because I find those pieces entertaining, because when people feel like, the most important thing is when people feel like they can interact and do something in the stream to be a part of it, that brings your stream to another level. So like when people think they can affect you, and even like, you didn't touch on it, but I'm going to, one of my most popular sounds is just a sound of a punch.
Yep.
But with the sound of a punch, I react like I got punched. And my chat has gone on sprees of just spam and punch and beating the shit out of me. And I'm sitting there trying to react to every single one as they're coming in. And I'm just like, guys, you gotta slow down. Wait a minute, what's going on? I'm trying to just like, hey, hang on. So it's stuff like that people are just like, wow, I'm Dr. Kills in chat saying wasn't me. Bullshit. But no, that's what grabs people, is they can be a part of it by just being in chat. They can affect something or affect you in a certain way that, hot sauce, spicy bean, punch sounds, you make it fun and you make it interactive. People are going to come and tune in.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
This, I got a 2-part question for you.
Okay.
The first part is, where does this buddies come from? And second, after you describe that, can you tell us what your biggest self like accomplishment that you've had in your years of streaming?
Okay, so buddies. I had a friend that I hung out with personally a lot, and we used to game together. We're big Philadelphia sports fans, so we'd watch the games together, hang out, did a lot of fun stuff together, and we were both big gamers. We used to just sit on the couch and play each other in NHL, which is a flashback to what I'm doing tomorrow night. Getting into NHL 24 tomorrow on the stream. But we used to call ourselves the Chalk Gang. And the reason for that was I used to have my daughter's playroom now used to be a huge game room where I'd have like a couch, a bar, all kinds of sports stuff going on in there. And we had a little chalkboard on the wall. And every time we competed against each other, didn't matter what it was in. It could be cornhole, could be bets with sports, could be gaming against each other. If you lost, the person got a chalk line. And at the end of the year, we counted them all up to see who was gifting somebody something. Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So we did that for like a few years, 3 or 4 years. And we never really gifted each other anything. We just kind of did it as like a competition of fun stuff. But
Yeah.
Anyway, pandemic hit and me and him kind of, split off. We kind of went through some things and, we're no longer friends. And another good friend of ours that was kind of like not in it, but there, like a good friend of mine, he was like, Chalk Gang sounds a little sus. Like maybe you shouldn't say Chalk Gang because you might have people thinking you're referring to something, when I was trying to get rolling on like getting a computer set up and gaming and whatnot. He's like, maybe you shouldn't do that. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right. I was like, but I don't really know. And we were kind of like just messing around because we'd always used to greet each other like buddies, like buddies, and we'd always like say that to each other, even when we were like saying we were chalking or whatever. And my buddy's like, well, why don't you just go buddies? Like, it's kind of like just so, something you could even say to a friend, like, what's up, buddies? And that's where it kind of just like, I'm like, you know what, you're right. So, I dropped the Chalk Gang thing. And then especially when I started to build into, streaming, I brought along that buddies thing. And me and him were kind of like the two. Now he doesn't stream or he doesn't game as often as he would like to, I'm sure, with me. Yeah. But, it kind of became, that was the tag I went along with, was buddies. And that became the group staple, buddies.
I love that. I love that because you say it like that.
Yeah,
when you come
exactly
into the show, you're like, "What's up, buddies?"
Buddies. Yeah, you give
that.
it that little flair, and it just kind of just rolls with everything, and everyone's like, "Yeah."
So that's so cool that I'm finding all the ins and outs of how the show has been built up.
Yeah,
I mean, you like we talked about. I am a fan of the show. I'm a huge fan. I love all these little things that are hidden in there, but not so hidden because I'm pretty sure you talk to friends about it. But like, if you don't ask, you don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No one would ever like, especially like now, with what like the couple years I've been streaming. No one, I'm sure no one has ever heard me say Chalk Gang.
Yeah,
until just now. Like, I don't think anyone's ever heard that piece or that part of like, my gaming or like friendships that I've had, outside of gaming. So, and rightfully so, because we kind of just like got away from it and went with something a little bit better that sounded awesome and had a, a good rhyme to it. So Chalk Gang for life. I see you, Stevie Streams.
We got Stevie Streams.
He's going to pick that up. There you go. Chalk Gang.
That's awesome. You're going to have a bootleg merch of the Chalk Gang. It's gonna be,
right.
So, second part of that question, what has been your biggest accomplishment? And I don't mean like something that, Twitch would see as an accomplishment. I want to know what has made you lose heart, warm up, you feel pride. What has been your most prideful moment of streaming?
I've had a lot of great moments, and like to what you were saying, not necessarily like what would Twitch see as a accomplishment, because I still feel like I'm just a little guy, just trying to have fun and put on a show. But I would definitely say there's been a lot of different great moments. We ran, last year for my 1 year anniversary, we ran a buddies month, and we raised a lot of subs and donos to like give away some games. I had a lot of fun last October doing different costumes on each Friday.
Yeah.
And then I told chat, if we, for the first time ever, if we got to over 200 subs or more, I would wear a maid outfit. And chat like ran with it, and we hit over 200 subs, which I've never done before, and I haven't repeated that, and it's
Yeah.
like, well, now I got to keep my word. And we did, the last Friday of October before Halloween, we did a full maid get up,
Yes, you
and
did.
I was looking sexy. People were,
Hey, you were.
people were turned on in there, but
I questioned my whole life.
so we, I want to say, it's not necessarily about like, subs or, donations or how many followers we have. It's those moments, that make it, my greatest accomplishments, like seeing what we did with Buddies Month and Halloween, and the shows that we've put on. Me and Misfit had a great partnership for Fuff, and we turned Fuff into a Friday staple, and it didn't matter where you went, people heard and knew about Fuff, within our community area on Twitch. It became a big staple. And then what me and Viking put on together for, Tuesday Night Thunder, which became our WWE 2K, wrestling nights, those blew up, and we had a lot of great people involved, and a lot of great people, putting their inputs and putting, themselves in promos that we would air on Twitch, and it's moments like that are the best moments for me, seeing, the community we've built, the group around us. That's what I cherish the most when it comes to thinking about, what I've done, streaming wise.
No, I kind of already knew that that's where it was going to go with you. Just because I'm a fan. I see it. You can, if people out there, if you're listening and you haven't joined the Lou on a stream, I highly urge you to. There's so much fun. There's the chat itself can be having a completely different chat opposite of what Lou's doing on screen. And then Lou finally, he has a pause in the game where he can look, and now he's trying to catch up. So it's really fun because people like Luna, people like Stevie, people like Dr. Kill, when you go in there, they don't ever make you feel like you can ask a dumb question. You know what I mean? Like
Right. You're
they
welcome,
tend to, yeah, you're welcomed with open arms. And is that just like, did you get that from like your being in the South? Is that something that you just have instilled in you through your upbringing? I mean, I know you spoke about your dad being this entertainer, a DJ. Secret Time. In high school, I was this close to going to our most popular radio station and doing an internship, but I couldn't get a vehicle to go up there.
Oh
Just
man.
freshly 16, my stepdad was like, "No, you're not getting a vehicle yet." But the guy who actually took it ended up becoming Drowning Pool's lead singer after
No
the
way.
original
Really?
passed away. Yeah. So I've always had a love for it, and I can see that your show is, I'm going to say it from my point of view, but it has early morning 90s radio vibes to it, to where there's all this crazy interaction happening.
Yeah.
Is that like, where does that come from? Is that's what's instilled from your dad from the entertainment side, or is that just something you fell into and found?
Well, I think for me, it's like I was talking earlier about, streaming and, finding something you like. I think I just tried to take my favorite parts of me and put it instilled in, what I put on the stream or behind me, or
Mhm.
some things catch, wind, or they catch on fire, and we run with it a little bit, like like the horse thing. We randomly one time during a Fall Guys community night I said, "You want to run with horses? Do you want to run with horses?" I was yelling at Stevie, and all of a sudden that, it's just caught. So I think like, it's all like just pieces of me. I grew up a sports fan, I grew up a wrestling fan, a lot of comedy, entertainment. I grew up with, loved Adam Sandler growing up, loved Jim Carrey. So it's funny you said the 90s radio, host, because I gotten that from people that I've hung out with in Discord, and I've seen my background. They're like, Lou, you look like you're in like a radio setup, like
Yeah.
with your background. And it kind of feels that way with, what I have behind me. But, going back to what you said about everyone's so welcoming, I kind of just, you set yourself, a certain way with your stream and how you hold yourself. And I feel like you end up having those people gravitate you that feel the same way as you, or treat people the same way as you, because we can have some fun in chat and we can banter and we could talk a lot of shit, back and forth between people. But when it really comes down to it, we've had so many, positive conversations that can lead to, uplifting someone's day, because it's a dark world out there. We all know that. And to have just a little bit of light for somebody is, something that I will pride on. If someone's going through something, I always tell somebody, even when they come in chat and they say, they're having it rough or something's going on, I'm like, yo, are you in my Discord? If you're not, jump in. You can DM me. You're already in the Discord? DM me, bro. I'm here for you. I'm here to have those conversations, because I go through the same thing day in and day out. Life is tough, but we can keep those good people together, keep those good people conversating amongst themselves and keep building each other up. That's what it's about for me. And that's why I feel like you see that when you come in the chat, you see that when you come in the Discord, you see like a family that will still pick on each other and have fun, but we're going to take care of you too,
Yeah. You're like the Dom from Fast and the Furious. I got family.
I don't have friends. I have family. I can't do his voice, but
yeah, I can't
either. Exactly.
I love it, Lou. Fans, if you're in the chat, you can ask any question you would like. If you have anything you've ever wanted to ask Lou, or you're just seeing his beautiful face for the first time and you want to get to know him, just drop a question in the chat. Lou, what would be your ultimate gaming night if you could game with any celebrity, any famous person, anybody that throughout your life? Who would you love to sit down and have a Friday night stream with and just cut it up?
Well, there's definitely a few names that come to mind.
Give them to us.
Know the streaming world. I think one of the first big groups I tried to be a part of when it came to a big streamer was Nick Merckx. Huge fan of him. I find him kind of he's that almost like that dominant figure, but he's very funny and can cut it up, and he sticks to his word. He says what he means, and that's who he is, and I can respect that about him. I've been to his barbecue events that he's held in Tampa. I've bought in his merch. I was a sub for him for over 2 years. I was a huge, I've been in his chats during lunch as recent as last week. So,
awesome.
Huge Nick Merckx fan. MFam represents me just like I feel like I represent Nick. And I feel like, we're talking about the stream and build stuff. And I feel like I take some of what Nick presents himself with, same as me. He sticks to his word. He's funny. He takes care of his people. And that's the most important part. If you're part of his community and you're part of his family, he's going to take care of you. And I feel like I've kind of mirrored that myself, so if there's anyone I would love to game with, it would be, Nick Merckx, or that group that always is like Tim the Tat Man, Dr. Disrespect. I think I got called the discount Dr. Disrespect last night.
Yes, you did. Yes.
So just because I kept my glasses on too long, but yeah. So you hear those names in gaming. They're very popular within YouTube, Twitch, Kick, all those platforms, and I feel like that would be the trio that if I could drop in a quads Warzone with Nick, Tim, and Doc, I think that would be the absolute greatest gaming night of my life, and I would die a happy man as far as my gaming.
I would be there right in the chat, just cutting it up with you guys, because I think that would be an amazing night.
Oh, it'd be so fun.
Yeah, you guys would definitely bounce off of each other. There would be nobody in the chat would not be pissing themselves laughing.
Yes, it would be a very funny time. It would be fun.
So Lou, what do you have any plans that you can reveal that are coming up in your head of where you might want to take the Lou and the buddies? I know you're freshly back from being off for 2 months. But a guy like you never stays away from the keyboard for too long.
It's hard to stay away. When you love something and you enjoy something, it's hard to stay away.
Yeah.
I was gone for those 2 months, and we've been back for about a few weeks now. And like I said, I feel like I'm getting back into a routine, into a little groove. I know we're not doing shows that we were doing prior, but I've got a lot of. I always come up with like some creative ideas. And whether they work or not,
Very true.
we always see it. Like, for me, I tried to do a Wednesday retro night, and the retro consoles weren't, they weren't having it. Yeah, especially this guy who's one of my favorites. They were kicking out. We tried to do No Mercy and WCW NWO Revenge, and just weren't having it. So, things happen. You try different ideas, and sometimes they take off, sometimes they don't. But as far as any future plans, I'm not 100% sure yet. Now, I have an idea that I want to do for Friday, where it's kind of like a little fun league, and we do different things competing against each other on different games. Doesn't have to be the same game. Like Warzone was I've slowly gotten back into COD. I have a love-hate relationship with COD, just like everybody does. But
that's what I was gonna say.
But COD has always been, one of those games that I've had a lot of great friends with and a lot of great memories with. So, but it doesn't have to be COD. It could be other great games. Could be wrestling. Could be anything that we have a large interest in. So, I've got an idea for a fun league that I want to start doing on Friday nights. I just got to get the final pieces together, because I don't want to roll it out without, rules or plans. So stay tuned for that. That's something I'm working on. The Monday thing, like I mentioned earlier, I think everyone's enjoying that. Me and you have a date next Monday.
We do.
Right. So we're going to be swinging some wood in MLB The Show.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Others are welcome. We're going to do a home run derby. So we're going to be doing that next Monday. So I have where everyone's lining up, wanting to pick a game, and we play together. It's kind of like a, hey, Lou, do you have time to do this? Or Lou, do you have time to do that? I'm like, I don't. But we're going to set aside a night to start, saving more time for people that want a game together. So that's what we're doing. People that want a game with Lou, Mondays are starting to hit. So we're gonna roll with that, where you get to pick the game. Let's game together.
That's awesome. I like that idea. I think it in your community that will definitely play off very well, because you got so many amazing people that would just dive into that, and then I can just see the shit talking already in the chat.
It happens every stream.
We got the man himself, Hypocrisy Jones, jumping in saying, "What up, yo? What up, Jones? How you doing? We know you got a name change today. Hope your night is doing well. We're chatting with the Lou here. Lou. So, well, before I get into that, I definitely have to hit this comment. We got Luna saying Monday was an honor gaming with you, Lou.
Absolutely, Luna. Thank you. We played some golf with friends last night, and again, you mentioned the shit talking. We had a good time hitting balls around and trying to put them in holes.
And we got Stevie jumping in. Lou's stream is very family friendly, so bring the kids and sit around. You probably don't want to.
I wouldn't do that.
Maybe if you have like a family of deaf people, you could definitely do it and don't put on the captions.
That would work.
Yeah,
that would work.
Well, Lou, we know you're a streamer, you're a wrestling fan, you're an overall gamer, but you're also a family man. Can you, if you don't want to get too deep into it, I completely understand it, but Can you tell me what your favorite moments have been so far as being a dad, being a streamer, doing all these things? Because I know fatherhood definitely tops any streaming. Even though you love us and all that,
1000%.
fatherhood, being a husband, all that stuff, that's where all this fun energy comes from with you. And I do remember, I believe your wife was a streamer and then she's not doing it anymore,
She
but
hasn't done it for a while. I don't know if she's coming back. Her setup's right here. I can almost
yeah.
touch her setup. And she's got her her whole wall set up. But she's getting, very busy with work.
Yeah.
She's just recently got a raise and a new title.
Ooh.
And sometimes her work, makes her travel. So
Yeah.
she enjoyed the part of streaming. She just doesn't know when she could make a return to it, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. So
No, it
but
does.
but as far as like I think, growing up, I was the oldest of four, and I watched my mom and dad, work as hard as they could, to provide us with, so many nice things, that we had as a child, toys,
Mhm.
gaming, systems and all that good stuff. And I think that's, kind of the same mindset for me. I try to just do the best I can to be the best dad. And, for her, sometimes it's not necessarily about what you buy her. It's the
Yeah.
time you spend with her. And, I even saw a quote like that, not that long ago. The kids aren't going to remember the toys you bought them. They're
Mhm.
going to remember the times you spent with them with that toy, or the time you took them somewhere or played with them. And, for my daughter, it's more about like playing with her, being, funny. I'll do like voices for her, while we're playing with the little characters. And, that's her favorite stuff,
Yeah.
is just sitting there with some dolls, some figurines, and just having fun. I've introduced her recently to, uh, PC gaming with Minecraft and
Mhm.
Roblox. And so like she's gotten to sit at my, wife's setup and game along with me, which has been an amazing time, as a
Yeah.
dad, having
Oh,
your
yeah.
little one have their own controller and have their own, little setup to what they're doing. And it's incredible. And I will always say, you touched on it, but I love this. I enjoy streaming. Um, but nothing will ever top that little girl. That's
Yeah.
that's where that's my rock. That's my world. That's the part of me that gets up out of bed and on my feet every single morning, is because I will go to bat for her every single hour of the day. That's
That's
that's my
awesome.
that's my world. So she just turned 6 this weekend. She
Yeah.
had the most amazing birthday weekend I think me and my wife could put on for her. And she's a good kid, smart kid. She's almost done with her kindergarten year, and it's been incredible, man. Being a dad, it brings those feels out for you, and it also brings that sense of like, I don't care what's going on, I'm going to defend this little person with my life.
Yes.
I will go into a full rage mode to protect this little girl. And I never thought I could ever feel like that
Yeah.
in my mindset, but I felt so many moments, being out with her. You always have that sense of, what's going on around you. If like you're in a store or in Walmart or something like that, and you just see people, and you're just like, "Y- I don't know where you're going, but don't come near this little
Yeah.
girl."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You kind of just get in that mindset,
Oh, yeah.
when you trying to like figure out what people are moving and doing. So, because like I said earlier, it's a dark world.
It
It's
is.
it's a it's a painful world. And I know one thing for sure. I would not be doing everything that I'm doing in my life if it wasn't for her. So
That's awesome to hear.
yeah.
And you can tell, like, in your streams, like we've talked about, um, you can see that when you talk about your family, the light that comes to your face. We all see that you love being on there, but when you do speak about them or your wife jumps in real quick to just say hey to you and, give you a little smack or, scare you or try to scare us.
Cake in the face.
Yeah, you can see your genuine happiness, and honestly, those are my favorite moments during the stream when I can sit here in my studio playing my game along with you, watching you do it, and I can look over and just see that big cheesy damn smile you got. I know that you're having a great time, and we've I know my fans have enjoyed you here, and hopefully if some of them cross over and see you do your thing live, because people, you're missing it if you're not seeing it. It's a spectacle, and it's fun because like he spoke about, him and Misfits did a fuff Friday, and I literally had friends that would be like, hey, you want to go hang out this Friday? And I'd be like, bro, fuff is on, what are you talking about? Maybe tomorrow night, but no, I gotta go and watch and sit here. I absolutely can't love your stuff enough, man.
I
Like
appreciate that,
I
man.
really feel like I found a brother that my mom was just like, hey, why don't you go live down south, and I'm gonna raise this guy up here. And then now we've connected because, like, dude, there's so many conversations we've had outside of streams, uh, you know, about personal life and things. Like this past 3 months, dude, I'm telling you, you and Viking, you guys have been my rock, dude. You guys, anytime I've ever had an issue, you guys either A, notice it, or B, I tell you, and then we have a conversation about it. And then it comes, I usually get a very good response from you guys and help, so I honestly, my mental health, I'm going to say you guys have helped me this past couple months, and it's been an honor and a privilege to be just a person, a rando in the chat, and to actually get responses. I mean, I tease Viking all the time that he's a Viking out there on the seas, and he's got a ship, and he makes Luna do all the stuff on the ship while he just goes around being a Viking. And even Luna, I've had discussions with her where we've talked, and she said some things that kind of helped me out throughout that day, and I I just it's so bizarre in this world we live in today that, like you talked about, there's dark times out there. There's evil, but you don't have that for those couple hours in your little world that you created.
That's the
My
best part.
question about going around all of this is there anything you would have changed differently about creating this world, or would you have kept everything just as it is and just keep the ride as it goes?
Yeah, I would say I wouldn't trade any of it, the ride we were on. Because for me, it was never, I never did this to, become a famous YouTuber or, a rich streamer, playing all the turn. I did this because, I loved it. And, like you were touching on, it's so dark out there. I wanted to be, something positive, that people could come and hang out with, folks that like you that have come along and have gotten to see, how welcoming we all are, within the community. And, you know, I wouldn't trade any of it for anything as far as the start where I was like barely averaging I could barely average a viewer when I
Yeah.
first started. It took me a very, very long time to even hit affiliate. It took me about 6 months. And
Wow.
for affiliate, you just needed 50 followers, 3 average viewers, and I couldn't do it. But, I was just enjoying my fun, making TikToks, interacting on Twitter, just, meeting people along the way. And I will say, we touched on him a lot, Viking. Viking was part of one of the very first groups I ever met, streaming. I would go around Twitch, try to interact with people to, meet people. And one of the streams I stumbled into was Wembley TV. And if you haven't gotten a chance to meet Wembley yet, you should. He's an amazing person,
Yes.
very kind dude. I stumbled into his community and I just met some of the most amazing people, from Dr. Kill Viking Storm, Trev, Black Ice Hosier, and those names right there, I just all of a sudden like felt like I was welcomed into a group without them even knowing anything about me. And it just went from meeting these guys to hanging out with them to gaming with them, and it just grew into so many different welcoming communities. And it was just one of my favorite parts of starting out was the amount of great people I got the chance to interact with each night. And it's just kind of grown into what it is. And to be honest with you, I don't even really care about numbers when it
Yeah.
comes to each night's stream. I just care about the fun we had, the funny moments, and the interactions between everybody. You know, just having a positive place for everyone to come and, you know, hang out and have a night, you know, or like I
Yeah.
always say for Fridays, start your weekend off with us. Let's have some fun, you know,
Yeah.
and is it always great? Sometimes there's moments. It's gonna happen. People are different breeds. It's okay. You know, that's what's great is that we're all different in
Yes.
what way we walk the earth. But you know, to have the core group that you know I've had over the years and met, I wouldn't trade any of them for anything. Nothing. And I'm very happy with where we're at.
Well, you're getting a response from exactly what you were just saying from Luna. When I met Viking, he kept you close. He spoke about you like a brother who he would do anything for. And since he allowed me into the community, I can see why he fiercely loves you, Lou. And fans, that's exactly what we're talking about with the community. Luna, she's a she's a bit of a rascal in the chat, but she's a rascal you're gonna instantly fall in love with and have fun with. And then you got her swashbuckling man, Viking Storm, coming in, and he's gonna bust you up a little bit because that's what he does. He loves to have fun. You can never knock a man who's just trying to have some fun. I
I,
absolutely love him.
I will say about Viking, he always, you know, puts himself up there as Lou's biggest troll.
Yeah.
And he loves to just beat me down whenever he has that opening to.
Yeah.
But you know, the time that I've spent with Viking, we have had some of the most, you know, deep conversations. And you know, you when you meet people and you just click and you know, you guys were meant, you know, to be closer and hang out with each other and do something special together. And you know, I've felt that way with a lot of the core group that I've met along the way, especially you. But Viking, you know, it just felt different, you know, from his
Yeah.
positivity, you know, while I was away for a couple months at the beginning of this year, you know, he's just like, I always enjoyed your streams because you were always just so interactive. You read everyone's chat. You wanted people to be in there and just have fun and be themselves and let go of the world for those 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that's just what, you know, everyone needs sometimes is just that time away from reality, just to have, you know, 2, 3 hours to themselves to have some fun. And Viking was always one that always pushed that with me is, you know, the positivity, the deep conversations. And
Yeah.
for that, you know, Viking will always be a brother to me in my circle.
That's that's awesome, man. That is really awesome. Um, I absolutely love hearing these positive vibes that come from you on every stream, and then now the opportunity to get to sit here and actually conversate with you without you getting hit in the face with a sound bite or or
I thought I heard one for a second. I have nightmares. Sorry.
I can understand. I can understand. The fans go and check him out. Usually the beginning when he's trying to get all the information out. That's usually when he gets hit with a couple hundred punches. Luna's got one for us. You know,
Oh,
she's letting you
there
know.
it
There's
is.
the punch. There it is. Lou, I am so I am so grateful that you joined me here. Um, we've we've had a lot of fun throughout this past year, just learning each other and becoming friends. And I got a couple quick questions for you, just kind of like not rapid fire, but they're a little quicker that you don't have to give a long form response to.
Okay.
But favorite food,
Italian. Anything
Italian,
Italian. Anything
anything
Italian.
Italian.
Yeah.
Favorite wrestling match.
Ooh, I loved WrestleMania 17, the TLC match. The
Uh,
Dudleys, Hardys, Edge and Christian. WrestleMania 17 was the first WrestleMania I ever ordered. And
oh,
that was because I was a huge WCW guy and they just got bought. So I finally made the jump over to the better program, right? So I talked my parents into, hey, I need to see WrestleMania 17, see who's going to be there from WCW and all that other good stuff. So uh WrestleMania 17 to me is tops
awesome.
WrestleMania. One of the best. So yeah, that match, the TLC 2 match, favorite.
It's a great one.
It's a
Okay,
good one.
you're having a cookout, and you told 5 people to bring desserts. What if someone brought a dessert that you hate? Are you kicking them out? And what is that
No,
dessert you don't like?
no, I can't do that to them.
Oh,
We're welcoming, right? So they
yeah,
might need
but
to go. They might need
there,
to go sit in the corner or something. But
there's lines, Lou. There's lines.
there is lines. The dessert though that I hate, I
Yeah.
don't know if. Ooh, this might not be popular. I might get kicked off of here. Um, I don't like peach pie, like a
No, you're.
peach cobbler pie or peach. I'm just not a peach guy. You know what I mean? As far
Oh
as
yeah.
like I can do an apple pie, but peach pie, I just can't do that.
I'm not a fan of peaches either. And those
Yeah.
presidents of the United States of America, they can take their peaches song and they can shove it because there's no millions of peaches and they are not for me or Lou. We don't want
Not
them.
for
Keep
yeah.
them.
We don't want them. Keep them.
Okay. Final question.
All right.
Ultimate game that you can replay without ever getting bored with. And this is your personal game. This has nothing to do with numbers or anything like that. What makes
Mhm.
Lou happy to play?
I would say one of my favorite series of games was Dying Light. If
Oh,
you've never played it before, they've
I
got a
have.
1 and 2. 1 was better than 2, but 2 still is good. Um, I feel like I could jump back into that game any moment and have a great time with it. Zombie slaying is always a good thing, especially when you can add some parkour, jumping around, and doing all that craziness. So, the Dying Light series was always a favorite of mine. Also, like probably, probably pretty close, maybe more so. I grew up a big GTA fan,
Yeah.
and the Grand Theft Autos are a classic. You know, from the first three to now, we're hopefully going to be alive long enough to see GTA 6, which I cannot wait for. I wish it was. We're getting the trailer. They announced the trailer tomorrow. Just throwing that
No.
out there. But
All
the second
right.
trailer is coming out tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time. But the GTA's are classic.
Yeah,
Every from Vice City to 3 to San Andreas, all those are great games. I could always jump into those and have a great time.
that's awesome. I love to hear it. All right, Lou. This is the point where we let the guest give out their info where people can find you. And if you have a final message to the Window Lickers family out there and fans, go ahead and give it to them.
Well, you can find me twitch.tv/thelou underscore. All caps, just like you see it right here in the corner. That corner. I'm always bad at pointing. That corner.
Me too. Me too.
I'm always bad at pointing. All caps together, underscore. We're running Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right now. Always card subject to change, but Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right now is the lineup that we're setting ourselves up with. You can find me on TikTok as well. I think it's the Lou with a couple underscores. Same thing. I post, clips and highlights and some funny videos over there every once in a while. That's my main source of getting clips out. So TikTok, Twitch, that's where you can find me, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
Final message for the fans out there.
Have fun. It's a dark world. Find that group, that person, that family that brings you light, just stay positive, keep your head up, everything, comes together when it comes together, but having that positive mindset, seeing that light, keep those close people together, in your life.
Absolutely love it. Lou, again, thank you so much, brother, for joining me and being a part
Absolutely,
of
dude.
me bringing back a moment with Joshua Joseph. I honestly couldn't have asked for a better dude to join me on this. And I'm so happy to get to sit here and have a discussion with you and hear all about Lou. It was very fun. It was a really good moment. I enjoyed this one.
I thank you for having me on here, man. Seriously, like when you asked me, I was like, "You want
Yeah,
to sit
I
with me?"
know.
I was like, me," because when you were describing the show, I was like, "You want to sit with me, man?" The heck, dude.
Yeah.
I greatly appreciate it, man. I thank you for everything you've done. Being a part of the community. The interactions we've had. I love you, man. I appreciate you. I definitely do,
And
man.
the love is mutual on this end for you, buddy. Fans, window lickers, all kinds of people who stop in to see this 40-year-old sitting in his basement trying to live the dream of being on the old intro nets. I deeply, from the bottom of my heart, thank all of you for joining. Luna, Dr. Kill, Stevie, the Bulkster, Jones. Thank you all, and Bubba Duke. You guys definitely keep me going, and it's a pleasure to bring great talents like the Lou to you and the Buddies community. I'm so happy you guys all got to stop in and see that. Also, before I leave, In Your House will be going this Sunday for another house party, and you will also be able to catch the Boar's Nest on Thursday. So go check them out and check out all Lou's streams. I hope to see all of you in the chat Friday because that's where the fun starts. And fans, I love you all so much for joining me on this. And for the next time that I see you, keep them windows clean.